What if the answer to the Lakers' defensive nightmare has been hiding in Miami all along? Picture this: LeBron James, in his 22nd season, watching opponents torch his team for 78 first-half points against Utah. Not the Celtics, not the Nuggets. Utah. The defensive identity that once defined Lakers basketball has evaporated into thin air, replaced by a porous shell that ranks 22nd in the league. JJ Redick paces the sideline, his rookie coaching optimism slowly morphing into the grim realization that this roster, as currently constructed, cannot stop a nosebleed. And then, like a lighthouse beam cutting through fog, comes word from South Beach. Andrew Wiggins is available. The same Andrew Wiggins the Lakers chased last summer. The same 2022 NBA champion who helped dismantle the Celtics in the finals. The same 3-and-D wing who could be the missing puzzle piece in this maddeningly incomplete picture. According to Hoops Hype's Michael Scotto, the Miami Heat are actively gauging trade interest in Wiggins, a player with a $30 million player option looming for the 2026-27 season. This isn't speculation or rumor mill nonsense. This is Miami opening the vault and inviting serious bidders to the table. For the Lakers, this represents a second chance at redemption after refusing to meet Miami's asking price during the offseason. That decision, made in the comfortable certainty of October optimism, now feels like watching a winning lottery ticket blow away in the wind. The Lakers believed they could patch their defensive holes with internal development and veteran savvy. They were catastrophically wrong. The Heat's asking price, as reported by Clutch Point's Brett Siegel, is straightforward but steep. 1 future first-round pick and 2 rotational players capable of contributing to a playoff run. On paper, the Lakers can absolutely match this offer. They possess the expiring contracts of Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Maxi Kleber, along with tradable first-round picks in 2031 or 2032. The ammunition exists. The question is whether Rob Pelinka has the courage to pull the trigger, knowing full well that every draft pick surrendered is one less bullet in the chamber for the Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstakes that dominates every Lakers war room conversation. But here's the brutal truth that keeps Pelinka awake at 3 in the morning. What good is preserving draft capital for a hypothetical superstar trade if this current roster flames out in the first round? What value does flexibility hold when LeBron's championship window is measured in months, not years? The Lakers are caught in the classic trap of championship or bust franchises. Paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong move, they risk making no move at all. And in the ruthless calculus of NBA competition, inaction is often the deadliest action of all. Let's talk about what Andrew Wiggins actually brings to this equation, because his name alone doesn't solve problems. At 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan, Wiggins is precisely the type of perimeter defender the Lakers desperately need. During Golden State's 2022 championship run, he was tasked with guarding everyone from Jason Tatum to Luka Doncic, and he didn't just survive those assignments, he thrived. His ability to switch across multiple positions, contest shots without fouling, and recover defensively after blown rotations is exactly what JJ Redick's scheme requires. The Lakers currently rank 22nd in defensive rating, a catastrophic failure for a team with championship aspirations. They're hemorrhaging points at an alarming rate, giving up 78 first-half points to Utah in a game that should have been a defensive showcase. That's not a personnel issue. That's a personnel crisis. Wiggins also provides something the Lakers lack: consistent three-point shooting from the wing position. While his offensive numbers in Miami haven't set the world on fire, his career 36% from beyond the arc represents a reliable floor-spacing threat. In an offense built around LeBron's playmaking and Anthony Davis's interior dominance, having a wing who can knock down open corner threes is invaluable. It opens driving lanes, prevents defensive sagging, and creates the geometric spacing that modern NBA offense demands. Rui Hachimura, for all his strengths, is a streaky shooter who disappears for stretches. Wiggins provides consistency, and in playoff basketball, consistency is currency. But here's where the conversation gets complicated, and where Lakers fans need to ask themselves a hard question. Is Andrew Wiggins worth sacrificing future flexibility? Because make no mistake, trading for Wiggins isn't just about acquiring a player. It's about making a philosophical statement about the franchise's timeline. Do the Lakers believe they can win a championship in the next 18 months with LeBron and AD as the foundation? Or are they already mentally preparing for the post-LeBron era, hoarding assets for a rebuild that nobody wants to publicly acknowledge? This is the question that will define Rob Pelinka's legacy in Los Angeles. The alternative targets paint an interesting contrast. Herb Jones from New Orleans is the gold standard of perimeter defense, a player who can legitimately guard positions 1 through 4 and disrupt defensive schemes with his length and anticipation. He's signed through 2029 to 30, which means acquiring him represents a long-term commitment to defensive excellence. Keon Ellis from Sacramento is younger, cheaper, and potentially available, but he's also an unrestricted free agent in 2026, which introduces uncertainty. Daniel Gafford from Dallas provides rim protection and vertical spacing, addressing a different but equally pressing need. Each of these players solves a problem, but none of them are available right now with the same clarity as Wiggins. ESPN's Brian Windhorst recently confirmed that a pathway exists for the Lakers to acquire a player like Jones or Gafford, but only if they're willing to take on multi-year money beyond this season. That's the catch. The Lakers have meticulously constructed their 2026-27 salary structure to create maximum flexibility, with only Anthony Davis, Jared Vanderbilt, and Jake LaRavia on guaranteed contracts. This opens up more than $70 million in cap space, a war chest designed to pursue Giannis or Luka or whatever generational talent becomes available. Trading for a player on a long-term deal compromises that flexibility, potentially locking the Lakers into a roster construction that limits their ability to pivot. The Athletic's Zach Harper predicted the Lakers will stand pat at the deadline, prioritizing their 2026 flexibility over short-term roster improvements. And you know what? That's a perfectly defensible position if you believe the current roster is 1 or 2 adjustments away from contention. But is it? Can anyone watch this Lakers team give up 78 first-half points to Utah and honestly believe they're a defensive tweak away from competing with Denver, Boston, or Milwaukee in a 7-game series? The eye test screams no. The metrics scream no. The only people saying yes are the ones too invested in the current plan to admit it's failing. Here's the scenario that should terrify Lakers fans. The front office does nothing at the deadline, convinced they're preserving flexibility for a summer blockbuster that never materializes. LeBron ages another year. Anthony Davis suffers another injury. The 2025-26 season becomes a desperate scramble to stay relevant, and suddenly that carefully hoarded draft capital is being spent on rental players in a last-gasp attempt to salvage LeBron's final years. It's the same mistake the Lakers made during Kobe's twilight, and it's the same mistake franchises make over and over again because they're terrified of committing to the present. The Wiggins trade offers something rare in the NBA. A clear, achievable upgrade that doesn't mortgage the entire future. Yes, it costs a first-round pick. Yes, it costs 2 rotational players. But it also provides an immediate defensive upgrade, playoff experience, and championship pedigree. Wiggins has been to the mountaintop. He knows what it takes to win in June. That experience, that calm in the storm, is something you cannot teach or develop. It's earned through battle, and the Lakers need soldiers who've already fought the war. The Heat's willingness to move Wiggins also tells you something important. Miami doesn't believe he's part of their next championship core. That should give Lakers fans pause, but it shouldn't disqualify him. Context matters. Wiggins in Miami's system, surrounded by their specific personnel, is a different player than Wiggins would be in Los Angeles playing alongside LeBron and AD. Fit matters. Role matters. The Lakers need a 3-and-D wing who can guard multiple positions and hit open shots. Wiggins can do both. Whether he's the perfect solution or simply the best available solution is a question the front office must answer in the next 47 days. The clock is ticking. February 5th is the deadline, and every day that passes without action is a day closer to another disappointing playoff exit. The Lakers have the assets. They have the need. They have the opportunity. What they need now is the conviction to act, the courage to commit, and the wisdom to recognize that championship windows don't stay open forever. LeBron James is 40 years old. Anthony Davis has a well-documented injury history. This roster, as currently constructed, is not good enough. Everyone knows it. The question is whether the Lakers will do something about it or continue hoping that hope is a strategy. If you've been riding this emotional roller coaster with us all season, watching every defensive breakdown and celebrating every LeBron miracle, then you understand what's at stake. This isn't just about one trade. It's about the Lakers' willingness to seize the moment or let it slip away. Join us for every twist, every rumor, and every breaking development as we count down to the deadline. Become part of this community right now, because we're about to find out what the Lakers are really made of. So here's the final question, the one that matters most. If you're Rob Pelinka, do you trade for Andrew Wiggins and commit to winning now? Or do you preserve your flexibility and gamble on a future that might never come? Drop your answer below, because this decision will define the next decade of Lakers basketball.